Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine, and the weather in Kisumu is also fantastic today. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching this video from, just the county and the country. Later today, I'll be in Karachuonyo constituency, where I will accompany my friend Sammy Owino, who is an aspiring candidate for the member of parliament in Karachuonyo. So if you are in those areas, maybe later today we'll be able to meet. Now today I want us to look at real politics. And I want to begin by asking a question, a direct question. Do you think the deep state can deliver the presidency to Raila Odinga? Or let me put it this way. Do you think Raila Odinga should trust the deep state to deliver the presidency in the upcoming general election? Yes or no answer. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has lost in so many political wars in the past few months. Some of the losses could not have happened during Moi era and even Kenyatta era or even Moi Kibaki era. Kibaki will just keep quiet, things will move. When President Uhuru Kenyatta initiated the Building Bridges Initiative process, he had high hopes. And Kenyans believed that with the deep state, the president was actually going to ensure that BBI was going to pass. The first step was to collect the signatures. Signatures were easily collected. The next step or stage was at the county assemblies. Personally, I never thought they were going to meet the threshold at the county assemblies. I was surprised when almost all counties in the larger Mount Kenya region voted yes to the Building Bridges Initiative process. Then it went to parliament. Again, the president succeeded there. But the BBI found roadblocks in the courts. And maybe that can be attributed to several factors. Maybe the relationship the president shares with the judiciary. So he was defeated at the High Court, at the Court of Appeal, and yesterday the Supreme Court issued their verdict. And the verdict is one. The Building Bridges Initiative process is or was unconstitutional. Why am I giving you that background? I'm giving you background because there's always the perception that with the deep state, the president was not going to be defeated at the Supreme Court. And of course, out of the 7 issues which these guys raised, 5 of them, they won, they only lost 2. But even a single loss would have meant that the whole thing was unconstitutional. Which begs the question, why did the president lose the court battle despite the existence of the deep state? The truth of the matter is that President Uhuru Kenyatta, if you ask me, has failed in terms of the deep state. When Moi was the president, we had people like Nicholas Biwott. Those people would not allow certain things to happen. They would have even advised the former president not to venture into this thing. So if the deep state could fail President Uhuru Kenyatta, do you think they can deliver to Raila Odinga? That's the question. Because Raila Odinga and his supporters believe very strongly that Raila Odinga will easily win this presidency because of the deep state. That Raila Odinga has always won, and the only thing they've always missed is actually the deep state. And I remember Uhuru Odinga passionately telling the audience in Luo Nyanza how they're going to win this thing because now they have the system. Listening to Uhuru Odinga first before we continue.
The stage, we are now making strategies for winning the election. We have won election 3 times, but every time we win the election, we are robbed of that victory. That victory is known to the whole country, but we never go to State House. Why have we not gone to State House when we have actually won the election through votes? This is because there is something which we were missing. And that something which we were missing is called system. Some people are saying, system is not important. But system is very important. And now we are with Uhuru Kenyatta, who is holding the system. So if the system plus our votes, which are always more than the others, what else? What else do you mean?
No, that's Uhuru Odinga. Can the deep state deliver the presidency to Raila Amolo Odinga? Now, for one to be declared the president of the Republic of Kenya, or for one to become the president of the Republic of Kenya, there are several factors which are normally considered. The first factor is normally the international influence or factors. For example, it is believed that Raila Odinga never became the president in 2013 because of his perceived relationship with the United Kingdom. That Uhuru Kenyatta had a very close relationship with the United Kingdom. And the US also didn't have problems with him, but they had a problem with Raila Odinga. So the international relations or international influence always determines who becomes the president of the Republic of Kenya. And that's why you are seeing William Ruto trying to make attempts to create those influence. The second factor which always determines the person who becomes the president of the Republic of Kenya is normally deep state. And that's why in 2007, despite winning in a free and fair contest, Raila Odinga was never declared the president of the Republic of Kenya. But can we compare the current deep state with the previous deep state? When we talk of deep state, we talk of several things, or what Oburu was talking as the system. There is the IBC. Who controls the IBC? There is the intelligence. Who controls the intelligence? Because intelligence can mislead you, they can give you clear information. Like, for example, the current intelligence system, Kenyans have been asking themselves whether they're giving Uhuru Kenyatta the right intelligence or whether Uhuru Kenyatta is the one who is ignoring the intelligence. Then there's also the security. Here we talk of the police, the people who will always manage or provide security during elections, things like those. They'll ensure that this place is peaceful so that the turnout is high. They create, this place is not that peaceful so that on elections day, there's an apathy. So that deep state always determines who becomes the president of the Republic of Kenya. And that's what we want to look at. And then there's also the support you enjoy, which is either real support or the perceived support. For example, you can't make Dida the president of the Republic of Kenya. Why? Because he doesn't have support. As much as he has support, but that support cannot make him. But you can easily make William Ruto the president of the Republic of Kenya. Why? Because William Ruto has support, that perceived support. So you must have kind of perceived support for you to be made the president. In fact, that explains why President Uhuru Kenyatta opted for Raila Amolo Odinga as his choice of the preferred candidate. But the question is, can the deep state deliver the presidency to Raila Odinga in 2022? Please answer me yes or no. Of course, if you look at it from a political perspective, they can. Why? Number one, Raila Odinga has that perceived numbers, what we are talking of. Raila Odinga has contested for the presidency almost 4 times. He won in 2007, in 2013 and 2017. Perceptionally, it's perceived that he was rigged out. And this has been confirmed by several people, including Moses Kuria, including so many others who have always claimed that Raila Odinga's victory was stolen. Number two, Raila Odinga has that international network. So it means if Uhuru and the deep state wants to make him the deep state, they'll only do PR, raise his profile, make him appear good, and then he will be justified. The opponents will be dragged into the mud. He will appear bad before the eyes of the international community. So they can do that. Then also, there's this perception that Raila Odinga supporters believe that Raila Odinga's votes have always been rigged before. So he has been rigged, he has always won, and he has always won, but never sworn in because of the rigging. So with the support of the deep state, they can prevent this rigging. And here's where IBC will come into play. For example, in the last election, President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto were perceived to have created some fake polling centers. They were perceived to have used IBC to declare some results which were not the true results. And with the support, with the support of the deep state, if the fact that Raila Odinga is now perceived to be with Uhuru Kenyatta, those will be a thing of the past. But Raila Odinga should not bank on this deep state. This deep state of President Uhuru Kenyatta, in my view, has failed the president himself. This same deep state has failed in so many ways. In fact, I just don't know what to say. Orengo, for example, and Otienda Molo, who are legal experts in this country, Orengo is actually a working constitution, told President Uhuru Kenyatta in no uncertain terms that this document is illegal. The procedure we are following is unconstitutional. So what Raila and Uhuru ought to have done, they ought to have listened to what Orengo was telling them, so that they could have figured out how to maneuver. So probably someone would have rushed to the courts to seek for interpretation, and the courts would have interpreted it in a way, then they would have fixed those things before moving. So it means the president, deep state, is not reliable, which begs the question, what should Raila Odinga do? Because the deep state can make him the president, but he should not rely on them. What can he do? Number one, Raila Odinga must do what I'm seeing him currently doing. He must start recovering the lost reform credentials. Raila Odinga in 2007 was about change, 2013, 2017. When he entered into the handshake, the baggage of incumbency is weighing heavily on Raila Odinga. So we've seen Raila Odinga starting to bring together his former team in the trenches. Martha Karua is coming on board. I've seen Professor Muhisa Kitui. I'm seeing people like Koigi Wamwere. I'm seeing Professor Kivutha Kibwana coming on board, Makau Mutua. He must now bring those team and start giving those team preference in his campaign so that those faces people can relate with. I was watching Musalia Mudavadi today reading a statement, UDA statement, or Kenya Kwanza statement in Lamu, and I'm shocked. This guy is actually attacking BBI. Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula supported BBI until the last minute, not even until last minute, until they moved to UDA just the other day. So that's the kind of people we are dealing with. So Raila Odinga must distinguish himself from those groups. So he must go back and recover his lost reform credentials. He must be seen to be the face or the man fighting for the ordinary person. Not Ruto, because Ruto doesn't have any reform credentials. When you talk of constitutional reviews, you talk even in the current constitution, he opposed it. So they must make that very clear. Raila Odinga and his team must make that very clear. Number two, Raila Odinga must now decide to focus on his campaign. Raila should forget about this BBI thing. Forget and focus on the campaigns. Once he focuses on his campaign, he's going to create the momentum. The fact of the matter is, I don't know who advised Raila Odinga to go to the United Kingdom. That was a mistake. Raila Odinga ought to have stayed right in the country, then continued with what he had begun, because he had started gaining the traction, the momentum had picked. So when he went there, from the time Raila came back from US, what have you seen? Nothing much. So Raila Odinga must focus on his campaigns. The third thing he must do is that he should now not rely on the deep state. The deep state would want him to become the president, but he should not rely on the deep state to deliver the presidency. He must work on his campaigns, messaging. Raila Odinga must go to the people, lay structures, organize how he's going to have agents across the country, things like those. Then deep state will just come, because now, for example, previously, deep state would penetrate his team and give him agents who are not his supporters, these agents would compromise the results in Jubilee strongholds. This time round, he can just focus on agents in the hope that the deep state, even if they were to give him people, they will give him people who will be favorable to him, not those who are unfavorable to him. But he must focus on his campaign, and he should not rely on the deep state. And lastly, Raila atoe nyoka mfukoni. You see the way Mudavadi is happy. Mudavadi is happy because Ruto alitoa pesa akampa. You've seen the way Boni Alwale and Malala are very happy. They are very happy. Malala was making noise, akaambiwa, "Hey, kuja hapa. How much do you need?" 3. Akapewa. Boni Alwale, so you guys go and campaign. So they are very happy because of money. So Raila Odinga must be willing to give money. Even me, he can give me some money so that I can advise him. Thank you guys, by the way, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.